Board on this computer. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for our first quarterly meeting for the 2022-2023 school year. For those who are new to the organization, I'm going to serve as your MC for today's afternoon voluntary meeting. I'm Jason Conway, the Executive Director. I'm just going to make a few brief comments, and then I'm going to be asking the team leaders to give updates around their particular teams, things that are going to be beneficial for everyone in the organization to know about what's going on in technology and infrastructure, curriculum, student services, so on and so forth. So let me just say again, I want to welcome everyone back. We had a great start of the school year, and I just want to do a special shout out to the custodians who did an excellent job with the administrative building and very specifically over at Clairview, getting that space ready for kids to come back, for a new school year. So really, thank you to everyone. I hope everyone has had a smooth transition back, into, to the school year. It's looking more and more as though it's going to be a normal school year compared to the last two or three actually, and things are looking up and up on that. So I'll share more towards the end of the meeting. So Eric, technology and infrastructure, what updates do you think everyone would benefit from hearing?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. So we have been working through a capital projects plan with the finance division, as well as support from the board. We identified many projects, both here at the administration building and also at Clairview. So we are looking at parking lot repairs. We are in the process of doing surveys and getting all of the pieces put together in order to come up with a proposal for resurfacing areas of the parking lot at both locations. We've also done some outdoor lighting at the back of the administration building near where the generator and the garage area is. That was a recommendation, part of an RBAT assessment that we had done by the state police. We're also looking at gutter replacements. We have that lined up and the order has gone out. So we're looking at probably late October for gutter replacement at the administration building. Other projects include doors and exterior doors, fire alarm systems. So there's quite a number of items that are on the capital improvement plan that we're starting to work towards. On the technology side, we are working through the continued implementation of Cisco Duo for our multi-factor authentication. We have almost all of our employees that are enrolled and have been activated. For those that have not gone through the enrollment process, we will be reaching out and we will have an enforced enrollment by October 1st. So these are requirements that are being made from our insurance carriers, and not just our insurance, but pretty much every school district is now facing these new requirements that log on, like having a multi-factor authentication and other things that will be coming down the pike. Also, we've had a resignation in the division, two resignations actually. Lynn Weir left the organization as my division secretary. So we analyzed that position, and in lieu of replacing a division with a division secretary, we're looking at adding another technology support technician. So there will be another person to help set up for meetings, help for technology support here at Clairview and all of our remote sites. We also had a resignation of John Moore, who was our application developer. So we also took a look at that position, and an area of need that we have here at WIU and in the districts is in the area of cybersecurity. So we presented to the board our rationale for wanting to modify this position and develop a cybersecurity specialist position. So the board was supportive, and we are currently advertising for that position as well as the technology support technician. So within the next month or so, we're hopeful to have both of those positions filled and begin working with those individuals on their initiatives. I think that's covers it for technology and infrastructure.
All right. Thank you so much, Eric. And thank you for your leadership in the organization in those two areas. So now let's go to Tim Hamill. Tim Hamill, you're going to share some information about curriculum services. So go ahead, Tim, the floor is yours.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Few items to share with some things that are afoot here in the division. One of the biggest projects we have that has been ongoing and is now at the stage of implementation, and that is our Play Westmoreland initiative. I think at the last quarterly meeting, I discussed this and said it was coming, and we are now beginning to enroll some folks into the system. We have a entire school district that's coming into pilot with us right now, and lots of exciting stuff happening. And it just to reiterate what it's all about, it's a professional learning initiative where those who are participating have choice. There's a way for each individual to select their own pathway through the type of professional learning they want to experience. It's in a very gamified environment, meaning there are levels and missions and lots of experiences within that allow people to earn credentials and other fun things, you might say. So, the idea is to make professional learning interesting, motivating, and more importantly, make it meaningful to everybody who experiences the professional learning. So more to come on that. You'll be seeing as the year progresses a further implementation as the year goes on. And hopefully within the school year, we have some tremendous traction building with that initiative. I mentioned the school district that we were bringing on board with Play Westmoreland, and that is the Monessen School District. And in addition to that, they have asked our division to come in for some extensive work with data and curriculum and some leadership components. And we are really excited to be there because it's a district that we have really wanted to connect with, and with some new leadership in the district, they have engaged with us, and we have some great things lined up. One of which is bringing the speed of trust, which we all experienced here, bringing that to Monessen as one of the leadership elements that we're going to help them work on. I know that they're also working with student services with Dr. Thomas's folks with TAC. I know Amy Cavalier has been working there as well. And it will be an ongoing year-long support process for them. They are embracing our being there, and we're very happy to be there as well. Another major development for us is in our ESL program, which up until this year has always been supported by part-time teaching staff. And as of this year, we have moved to a full-time teacher model. Makes a lot of new circumstances for us. It makes a lot of change happen for our districts, a lot of new hires coming on board to become part of that. We're in the process right now. We're about halfway there in terms of having it completely staffed for the year. Some new hires in the pipeline, people who will be joining us within the next 2 months, and getting to that full level of service for districts. So lots of changes there and lots of need for support in that realm. Another big ask we had of us in the last year from our superintendent specifically was to provide a leadership experience for building level and other administrators in the districts. And what they cited was a real need or a lack of support for new administrators and those who need some help out there in the field. And they really felt there was a need for a leadership program of some sort. So we took the lead on that from our division and have created the WIU Leadership Academy, which will kick off next week. We will be hosting it at Fort Ligonier, an off-site location, kind of a unique historic location, and kind of engaging with the fort as well in the process from a historic standpoint and an educational program standpoint. We have right now about 20 folks from across the districts who will, leaders from across the districts who will be joining us for that. And we have engaged with some excellent people out in the field who are going to be coming to do the day-to-day work. It's 5 sessions over the next 4 months, and really looking forward to that and what that's going to bring for our districts. Lastly, I just want to say that there are some major changes coming to our division specifically. More to come on that next quarter. I'm sure we'll have much more to report, but there are, you'll see some new faces in the division, and you'll see some new projects in the division, and really excited about what's happening and what's occurring at the moment. So stay tuned for that. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Dr. Conway.
All right, thank you very much, team, and Tim, and thank you again for your leadership where it comes to curriculum services. So, just from our first 2 reports, you can see many exciting things going on with all of our teams. And so our next team report is going to come from Matt Thomas. So Matt, the floor is now yours.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor always to be in our quarterly meetings to give highlights and updates. I'm very thankful to have several Student Services Division personnel on the call today. So thank you to Melanie, Roanne, and Emily for joining us today. Since these are recorded, we know that often they can be watched at a future point in time based on scheduling. We started the year with 94 students at Clearview. Believe it or not, that's a high number for us because that's not typically where we end the year. That's actually about what we planned, and we are getting more referrals. EI has started with an aggregate number of 1,119 students, which again sounds like a low number because we typically trend by 1,400 or 1,500 at the end of a year. But that's actually on the high side for our aggregate. And another sampling is Greensburg Partial is also trending high for the beginning of the year. Hopefully we'll see some tracking up there. So our programs are back in business. We have staff all over the county. I did want to highlight a wonderful addition for our services teams is the rapid and ever-changing expansion of our non-public school services area. This year, we welcomed 4 full-time literacy intervention teachers that are going to be working across the 18 school buildings that serve non-public entities in Westmoreland County. Our hope is to enhance reading instruction with basal reading skills to support classroom teachers in those schools, as well as provide tier 2 and tier 3 supports for reading services or diagnoses and prescriptive services for kids. We also, in that same program, have 2 speech pathologists and anticipate that we will be making a decision through school counseling very soon. So that part of our division has grown by leaps and bounds. As I say that everything is growing, growing comes with pains at times. And so we have had a very busy past 3 months in summer in terms of recruiting and hiring for a lot of our programs. As it stands, we do still have some professional positions opening, even as of this meeting, and we continue to recruit. And sort of a little shameless plug here, if you know someone that is looking for work for the Westmoreland Intermediate Unit, we have plenty of work to share. There are several positions that are highlighted on the employee hiring recruiting portal on the www.wiu7.org website. If you have people that are interested in working as a social worker, as a classroom assistant, as a personal care assistant, as a classroom teacher in special education, we are very interested in talking to them. So encourage them to apply. Again, plenty of work to be done. The children and families of Westmoreland County are better because of our staff and the services they provide. So we are very honored to have people working here at the Westmoreland Intermediate. With that, Dr. Conway, that concludes our update.
All right. Thank you very much, Matt. Really appreciate your leadership in student services. Again, many exciting things. And again, the continued growth of the organization is pretty obvious by just the number of people that we continue to bring on to the organization. We are, growing by leaps and bounds. And what that really says is that our member districts, trust what we do and are asking for more from us when it comes to services. All right. So today I'm actually going to present on behalf of Tammy Good. Tammy Good is officially at the helm of the Financial Services Division. Lynn Liu retired on June 30. And we were fortunate enough to have an overlap of Tammy starting in May and working with Lynn on through up until June 30. And so we were very thankful that the board was supportive of that transition. And Tammy comes on board, having much experience from school districts and has brought a creative eye here to the intermediate unit already in her short tenure. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to read some notes. She was unable to make it today due to a prior commitment. She wanted me to share here that the team, the financial services team, is working on closing out the 21-22 school year. This is one of the busiest times within financial services, where we are now tying up the last school year, preparing billing, finalizing billing, because districts need that information for them to be able to close their books, before their annual financial reports are due as well. So it's a very busy time in financial services. They're closing out federal program funds, invoicing districts for year-end costs, and beginning to prepare for the local audit to begin. The AFR, that annual financial report, is due to be filed with the Department of Ed by October 31st. And so that is the finish line that they are sprinting towards, and it takes a lot of effort there. She does want me to thank everyone who has talked with her and helped her fill in some of the background gaps as she's fulfilling her new role here at the IU. And so I'm sure she'll be here for our next quarterly report the next time. All right, so that concludes then the financial services team report. For executive services, just want to share a few highlights for the team. We also have had some personnel changes within financial services. Christy Wright, well, first off, it all started with Charlene Welshons has officially retired at the end of August. And as a result of that retirement, Christine Ridenauer has now taken on the HR confidential assistant position. And so she is now working very closely with Kim Bush, who's our HR administrator. And with that retirement and with that shift of Christy to human resources, this gave us an opportunity to decide on what we would do with the executive services confidential assistant position. And so looking at the needs of the organization and ways in which we could promote the great things that we're doing and attract high quality candidates to work here. Also looking at the needs of our districts when it comes to them needing assistance when it comes to marketing themselves, communications, as well as public relations. The board supported a proposal. Instead of hiring an executive services confidential assistant, they were supportive of us bringing on a marketing and communication specialist to the organization, which will serve us internally as well as do work on behalf of the school districts. And eventually, hopefully, as the number of projects from districts increase, we can build that team to better support our districts when it comes to those critical areas. And so it's my pleasure to welcome to the organization Kayla Tamer, who is going to be filling that marketing and communication specialist position. Her first official day was on Monday, September 12th, and she came back both days after that. So we are are happy that she continues to come back. I'm jokingly saying that, but she is going to bring a wealth of she brings a wealth of knowledge and experience when it comes to marketing, communications, and public relations. And she is a high value add to the whole organization. So once she gets her feet wet and begins to learn the organization, you're going to start seeing some concerted efforts around our branding, our social media presence, our advocacy efforts for public education countywide and working with the districts. You're going to see a lot of exciting things. Also, Kayla is going to be partnering up with our foundation and helping to spread the word internally about our foundation, as well as to our community about the foundation. So I know Kayla's on the meeting listening in her car, so she doesn't have to respond, but I just want to again thank you, Kayla, for coming on and joining the team. We're really excited to see all the great things that are going to occur. So that's it for personnel moves when it comes to executive services at this point in time. So I'm going to conclude our meeting by again just thanking everyone for all of their hard work getting ready for the upcoming school year. We serve a critical role in the community, serving our member school districts and our non-public schools, and more specifically the children of those institutions. That's why we're here. We're solution makers. We're here to be of service to all of our clients, and I know that there are many satisfied customers when it comes to those who are receiving our services throughout the county. So with that, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I want to thank the in-person about 100 people in my office that came, and they're selling popcorn here in my office for those who've joined us. We will be back together again, and give me 1 second here as I look at the calendar. I believe it would be December 14th is the next time that we will be together for a quarterly meeting. So with that, I wish everyone a pleasant evening, and we'll see you the next time we're together. All right. Take care, everyone.